In Rumpus 8, we've greatly expanded the number of display choices system administrators have when setting up the web interface. In previous versions, for example, 8 color choices defined the entire web color palette of the site. But in Rumpus 8, there are over 40 individually selectable color settings. While it's nice to have that level of flexibility, adjusting all those colors at the start is virtually impossible, so the best first step is to use the Colors Wizard. On the Colors Wizard sheet, you select just 5 colors, and you can see how they relate to one another using the example graphic at right. Once the 5 base colors have been selected, click OK, and Rumpus will use those colors as the starting point for every color throughout the web appearance. Many other options have been added in version 8, all of which can be set on the Web Settings window. Tons of controls can make finding specific settings difficult, but in most cases the new options are fairly intuitive. Configuring file actions, however, is tricky until you get used to it. File actions define how users of the web interface can manage each file that exists on the server. For example, on this server, when I click the gear icon for a file, a pop-up menu is displayed that allows me to preview, delete, or rename the file. On the File Actions tab, if I select Tool icons as the action menu type, those options now appear in the listing as tools rather than as a menu. In either case, the File Actions options define how users perform tasks on files already on the server. As the system administrator, you have almost unlimited flexibility in how file actions are displayed. But to get started, use the File Actions Setup Assistant. On the Setup Assistant sheet, choose what should occur when a user clicks on the primary file name link for each file. For example, if you'd like the file to download to the user's local computer, choose one of the file download options. Or if you'd like to eliminate the gear icon and have the Actions pop-up menu displayed when a user clicks a file name, choose that option. For this example, I'll have Rumpus display a preview image anytime a user clicks the file name. Next, select whether actions should be displayed as tools or in a pop-up menu. Finally, select which actions should be available to users for each file and folder. It's important to note that the actions selected will only be offered when users have permission to perform that action. For example, I can enable the Delete File action, but if a particular user doesn't have permission to delete a file, that option will automatically be suppressed. So enable all options that should be available to any user, and Rumpus will automatically adjust the menu for each user based on their access privileges. Once the actions have been selected, click OK to set up the menus. Notice that the action menu is displayed more or less as it will be presented to end users of the system. Since files and folders have different actions associated with them, I can view the file and folder menus separately. On the Setup Assistant, I chose to include a download option for files, along with delete, rename, and dropship menu items. For folders, the selected options were download, delete, and rename. In the web interface, action menus are now displayed accordingly. Let's make a simple change and move the rename option so that it's above the delete option in the menu. To make the change, I select the menu item and use the Move Up button. And I need to make the change in both the file and folder menus. For each item in the Actions menu, I can adjust both the action performed and the menu item display. For example, when deleting a file, the Rumpus web interface normally presents an "Are you sure?" confirmation box before permanently deleting the file. But I can select that item and choose an action that skips that confirmation. While I'm here, let's change the icon and action title too. Now, in the web interface, the pop-up menu item reflects the different icon and text, and when I select that option, the file is deleted immediately. Let's look at one more example. This time, I'll add a new action to the File menu. The action will be the ability to view and set notes for each file, so I'll select that, choose an icon, and set the name to File Notes. Finally, I'll position the item where I'd like it to appear and save the change. In the web interface, users now have the ability to view and set notes for each file. As you can see, Rumpus 8 offers far more flexible and powerful control over file actions, though the interface for setting them up takes some getting used to. I still sometimes forget to select whether I'm working on the File menu or the Folder menu. Once you're familiar with how it works, though, it's very manageable and allows you complete control over the interface of your server.